Let's begin with Duryodhana's initial evaluation, where he describes the Pandava army. Dr. Rao, can you explain why he emphasizes the heroism and capabilities of warriors like Yudhamanyu, Uttamauja's, Abhimanyu, and Draupadi's sons?
Absolutely. Duryodhana's language is both factual and subtly anxious. By calling them Maharathis, he recognizes their exceptional prowess. It's as if he's reminding himself and his advisors just how formidable the opposition is, which reveals a psychological undercurrent of worry.
That's fascinating. The term Maharathi isn't used lightly, it means someone who can face thousands single-handedly. Could you elaborate on why Duryodhana might openly praise his enemies in front of his own teachers?
There's a tactical element here. By acknowledging the Pandava's strengths, he prepares his own leaders for a tough battle. Yet, it's also a moment of vulnerability he fears underestimating them could lead to disaster, so he overcompensates with honest acknowledgement.
Let's delve deeper into the roles of Yudhamanyu and Uttamaujas appointed to guard Arjuna's chariot. What does this reveal about trust and battlefield hierarchy in ancient India?
Their appointment signifies absolute trust. In warfare, the charioteer and guards were as vital as the warrior. Assigning this duty to Yudhamanyu and Uttamaujas reflects a military tradition where loyalty was as prized as skill, symbolizing not just defense, but the safeguarding of Dharma itself.
Interesting parallel. In modern terms, it's like entrusting cybersecurity experts to protect a country's digital infrastructure failure isn't an option. Does this also indicate Arjuna's vulnerability at this point?
Definitely. The need for such guardians suggests that even great heroes have their weak moments. The Gita subtly teaches that strength includes recognizing when to seek support, a lesson relevant far beyond the battlefield.
Now in verse 7, Duryodhana's tone shifts as he addresses Dronacharya. He calls him Duryodhana, or best of Brahmins. What's the significance of this change in address and tone?
This shift reflects a need for reassurance. While he was assertive earlier, Duryodhana now seeks validation from his guru. By using Duryodhana, he's not just being respectful, he's almost appealing for confidence from a spiritual authority, as if external validation can quell his internal doubts.
He also uses the word Vishishta, or distinguished, for his own warriors, something he didn't do before. Is this an act of self-convincing?
Precisely. Psychologically, it's a classic case of self-affirmation. Leaders often overstate their team's strengths to inspire courage, especially when uncertainty looms. Duryodhana's careful word choice suggests he's bolstering not just his army's morale, but his own.
In verse 8, Duryodhana lists his top warriors: Drona, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, and Bhurishrava. On the surface, it projects confidence. But are there deeper ironies at play here?
There's a subtle tension within the list. For example, Karna and Bhishma have mutual exclusions. Karna won't fight while Bhishma leads. Similarly, Vikarna's moral stance during Draupadi's humiliation sets him apart ethically. Despite the impressive roster, internal divisions weaken their unity.
That's a crucial point. It's like a sports team with all-star players who don't cooperate. Could you draw parallels between this and organizational dynamics today?
Certainly. A team with high-profile talent but poor cohesion often underperforms. Harvard studies show that group synergy outweighs individual brilliance. Duryodhana's roll call, though outwardly strong, masks these fractures.
Let's explore the psychological dimension. Despite Duryodhana's confident front, the verses hint at anxiety and insecurity. How does such internal conflict affect leadership in high-pressure situations?
Internal conflict can erode decisiveness. In Duryodhana's case, his repeated emphasis on strength may be an attempt to mask fear. Psychologists suggest that leaders who ignore inner doubts risk making impulsive decisions. Authenticity and self-awareness, as the Gita advocates, foster resilient leadership.
So, in a sense, the real battle is within, not just outside. Does the Gita offer guidance on managing this inner war?
Absolutely. The Gita teaches that clarity of mind and alignment with one's higher values are crucial. Before confronting external foes, one must resolve internal dilemma. Otherwise, even the mightiest resources may falter.
To conclude, what broader life lessons can listeners draw from these verses? especially about the tension between outer resources and inner clarity?
The verses remind us that material strength, be it armies, finances, or skills, is secondary to inner conviction. Success, as the Gita asserts, ultimately stems from self-knowledge and spiritual alignment. Outer winds are fleeting without inner harmony.
That's beautifully put. In modern terms, it's like having all the tools but lacking a clear purpose. When we face our own Kurukshetras, what first step should we take according to the Gita?
Begin with self-inquiry. Question your intentions, clarify your values, and cultivate inner peace. Only then can you engage the world's challenges with true effectiveness and grace.